You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jaden Utter.
I'm Matt Stultz.
Today, we're doing another agent interview. So today, we've got Matt Stultz here. He's one of the leading members on our team. He's been, how long have you been with? The Soul by Shep team.
What are we looking at? Like 7 months now, I guess. I think that sounds right.
Gotcha. Yeah. So Matt, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So let's see. So I spent basically my entire career prior to real estate in the fire service, where I was a firefighter, EMT. I was a arson investigator as well, building safety inspector. Did a lot of PR stuff with the kids at like elementary schools and stuff like that. But yeah, spent the majority of my career doing that before getting into real estate. I got out of that and was looking for something else to get into that wasn't as dangerous, put me home in the evenings, and real estate was...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's something that the fire service industry taught you that has now transitioned into your professional life now that you're a real estate agent?
That's a good question. So I think, honestly, it was work ethic. Being a firefighter, you run a weird mix of you're either 100% on or you're off. But in the time, whether you're in that 100% on or off, you're still working hard, whether it's your training, keeping the firehouse clean, stuff like that, or taking care of yourself, whether you're working out or whatnot. So I think that's translated into real estate that, when we get a prospective client, we really go hard with them. Like, hey, you're here for a reason. You're wanting to buy or sell a house, so let's get into this. We're not going to dance around. Let's get into it. Let's figure out what your goals are, what your needs are.
100%.
Let's get them addressed.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing, I've got a similar outlook on that because I came from the blue collar industry. It was working with your hands every day, construction, and it was once you know how to work physically hard, the rest just pushing through mentally is the biggest thing. Yeah, absolutely. So what is a moment in your life that forced you to grow up faster than you wanted to, whether that's professionally, whether that's childhood? And is there a moment in your life that you had to just push forward?
Yeah, another good question. So I would say actually when I found out I was going to be a dad. So I was a little bit of a hellion coming up, believe it or not. I pretty much lived for playing sports, drinking beer, getting into fights, whatever I could do. Once I found out I was going to be a dad, that was a hard slap in the face to say, hey, wake up. It's time to be a man. Take care of your responsibilities, find a career, stuff like that. So definitely becoming a father.
So I know the answer to this. And I've heard the story from you and Christy multiple times, but why real estate?
Honestly, it was kind of funny how it came about when I first threw the idea at my wife, Christy, that, I was going to leave the fire service and pursue something else because still too young to actually retire. She really had no ideas. My skills were very pigeonholed in the fire service. That really didn't translate to the civilian world very well. So I'd got on Indeed.com. I'm scrolling. I saw, hey, do you want to become a realtor? And I was like, that sounds fun. I think they make some pretty good money, so let's click on it. Clicked on it, got a response back really quick, and kind of that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
I got a sponsorship to take my classes, got into it, and was like, man, you can make some serious money.
That's nice. So, like, if you got sponsored, for the viewers out there, I think I've mentioned this 2 or 3 times already. $5,000 your first year, $2,000 every year after that, and that's not considering if you get any other licenses, if you broaden your horizon in any sort of fashion. It's not cheap.
No, and it's one of the I've never came from any type of sales background, But from businesses I know it's one of the very few businesses where you have to spend money in order to make money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where everywhere else you need to make money first in order
100%.
to spend it. So yeah.
So you're here, you're kicking. You and Christy are killing it. What is and maybe this is a moment for both of you. Maybe this is just a personal moment. But what point in your real estate career, or what point did you say, okay, I belong here?
Honestly, when I started getting feedback, and I was very nervous, obviously, going into my first actual deal, writing my first contract. I was like, man, I don't have a shot against these people. They got years of experience on me. What I learned real quick is that years of experience in this business don't necessarily translate into how good of an agent you're going to be.
Absolutely. We have that discussion all the time.
Yeah.
It's like I see agents out there my age or in their 30s, 40s, 50s getting into it. If you're willing to learn, it's not like if you're willing just to dive right in,
Right.
it's really not that hard. Like,
Yeah, 100%. And, your personality goes a long way.
100%.
If you're able to talk with people, relate to people, my opinion, you're going to be successful.
We're in sales, but we're really not. I talk more people
Right.
out of not buying a home than I do
Right.
talking people into buying homes.
Exactly.
Ultimately, we live in a very rural area, but we live in a high poverty area.
Mm-hmm.
Our pre-approvals come across the desk at 120 to 250. They're a dime a dozen. There's
Right.
very few actually good listings out there. I'm not putting somebody in a paycheck to paycheck situation.
Right.
It's one of those things that's save them from making that choice now to propel them in the future. Plus, it gives you a good rep. I mean, if you put them in a good situation.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's actually, so I use my fire background and being a building safety inspector to that point as well. When we're looking at homes, there's certain things that I can notice that, hey, this isn't safe. This is a big problem that maybe it was or was not listed or disclosed. And, maybe I tell them, hey, you don't want to deal with this. This is a big problem. Let's find you something else. And people appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%. So that kind of leads us into the next question. What's the hardest conversation you've had to have with a client?
Honestly, actually, I think here recently, it was a couple. They were younger, I think, probably like 19 to 21-ish, with a newborn little daughter. They were really strapping and scraping to try to work their credit to get where it needed to be. After putting them through the pre-approval process, they barely qualified. They didn't understand that just because you got approved for this much does not mean
you should spend that much.
Exactly. And they had a really hard time because, as we all know, a $300,000 house versus a $150,000 house, huge difference.
Payment-wise, down payment, interest rate. So many factors go into that.
Right.
If you just let us sit down with you and explain, 300,000 might not be out of the question if we're looking at COVID rates, 1.9% interest rate.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the give and take, and I guess that's why they call upon us to help. But I mean,
yeah,
those conversations are hard.
They are, yeah, because it may not necessarily be what you want. It may just be what you need.
Absolutely. So I truly believe that everybody always has something to work on.
Sure.
What's your biggest flaw, or what's your biggest thing that you see in yourself professionally that you can improve on?
Honestly, I think everybody that knows me probably knows the answer to this, and I would say it's probably I'm very impatient, and I do have a little bit of a short fuse, which isn't always necessarily the best combination, but I've balanced that very well with my teammate and my wife, Christy. So
you guys offset each other perfectly.
Yeah. I'm going to get the hard stuff done. I'm going to have the hard conversations. She's going to come in
that
to
finesse.
She's going to come in there to be the pretty face, to be the nice one, to close the deal.
Yeah, and I think so. The way you guys kind of act reminds me a lot of Mark and Chris, how they go, because Chris is that direct, honest. He's going to tell you exactly what you don't want to hear.
Right.
And then Mark's going to come behind and fix it. But people appreciate how real Chris is.
Right.
And they love how Mark comes in and just guides it through.
Sure.
I mean, that 1-2 punch, it's great.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna hop into some seller questions.
Okay. Shoot.
Switch more professional here. Why does every seller start with "my neighbor's house sold for blank"?
Honestly, I think it is like almost like a qualifying statement for them. Like they think that if their neighbor's house sold for 400,000, that should at the very least be the starting point for their home. And I think that's what they expect us to be like. Oh, well, great. Let's start here then.
And the comps may help that.
Sure.
But the same street doesn't equal same value.
Absolutely.
Again, on playing devil's advocate here, their house might be worth more than their neighbor's.
Right. Absolutely.
So, I mean, just having that conversation when you go into those listing appointments, bring the comps ready.
Yeah.
Show them, and then it's their decision, but our job is to advise them of whatever we think based off the market where they should price it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about sellers who ask if they can list exactly as is. Do people need to make additions, need to make changes? Does the value add? What's that line?
Honestly, I think just based off my experience, it all depends on the home. And I think that if you're in a position where you're having to sell quick, whether it's like maybe an estate sale or something like that, someone had passed in the family or whatever the case is, something like that, I would think you'd be more apt to do as an as-is sale. Yeah. But if you're looking to get the best bang for your buck out of your home, then absolutely. Like exterior-wise, it needs to pass the eye test.
Mm-hmm. Curb appeal.
Curb appeal, exactly. Throw some mulch down. Throw some, cheap flowers in the flower beds. Fresh coat of paint. Pressure washing. All that kind of stuff goes a long way. Interior, same thing. Fresh coat of paint. Maybe strip those old carpets out. Little things like that, a fresh coat of paint on cabinets goes a long way, and you definitely get more bang for your buck on your home.
And I think maybe it's just from an overhead or a comfort area. I don't recommend going out and pulling a HELOC and completely renovating your house fully until you bring a professional in. You don't trust real estate agents, that's fine. Bring a contractor in and say, what is this going to cost me?
Sure.
Because we run across brick ranch homes out here all the time. Beautifully structurally sound, just cosmetically outdated.
Right.
Sometimes that $30,000 into it may be worth an extra $150,000 in equity.
Yeah, if you can recoup it, it's smart money.
Yeah,
if you don't have the money to drop down, then it is what it is.
But if you're waiting out there to remodel before you call a real estate agent, sometimes that $5,000 you just sunk into your house, you just threw it away.
Right, you missed your market window.
100%, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So many sellers ask if they should wait. When is the right time to list or buy?
The right time is when you are ready. Honestly, people ask that all the time. I mean, obviously, different times of the season hit differently. I mean, I would suggest not listing in the middle of winter. Anytime after, say, like Halloween through spring, ideally is not the best time. But right now, I mean, we're still turning and burning on deals.
100%.
So, I mean, if you're ready, let's give it a shot.
What do you mean? Interest rates, they're coming down. Why don't I just wait till they're 4.5?
Right. Because there's no guarantees. And that's the thing. Everybody's waiting like for the interest rate to drop. Do we have some insight that maybe they are? Sure. But is it guaranteed? Absolutely not.
With the validity of the market in today's society, somebody hops on the news and says something in any sort of fashion, it affects the stock market. Stock market fluctuates, it affects the housing market.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, and that's the biggest thing. People were complaining in COVID times, 2022. I wasn't in the industry, but I saw it from the metric standpoint. People were giving 30, 40, 50,000 above asking price.
Yeah.
And most people are like, that's crazy. No, it's not. Their interest rate was a 1.9.
Right. Right.
Like,
yeah, they don't see the other side of it.
Yeah, I mean, my parents' house is, I think, at 2.25. I mean, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So the payment difference for everybody out there, go to a loan calculator, input the same purchase price, $300,000.
Right.
Change that interest rate from a 2.125 or whatever it is, and then take it all the way up to standard rates at 6.5 right now. Look at that payment difference. I mean, that dramatically affects it.
Huge.
Yeah,
it's huge.
And I think the biggest connection is not with us. It's before you start, talk with a lender.
Right.
Run
Do
numbers,
your own
100,
research.
because, and that's the thing, like leading into it, most people want to just beat up on the asking price.
Right.
Yeah, you save 20,000 initially, but your interest rate's 0.5% to 1% higher when you could have bought down that rate. We're in Southern Ohio. We're in a rural area. Acreage, the features of the land matter sometimes more than the house. Everybody thinks a barn adds 100,000, does it?
I mean, my opinion, no. But it also depends on the quality and size of the barn.
100%. So my take on that is, at least you're towards Batavia, so you still your sphere is that inner circle. I work mainly with like agriculture based people, so that pole barn, that 40 by 60. I truly think whatever you put into it, you double it in property value. Out this way, where you're at, I agree. A detached garage may add some value, kitchens, bathrooms, that sort of stuff. But I think out here, the barn adds way more value than an updated bathroom, and it's insane to me. But
yeah, I mean, very possible. I think it also depends. Was this built in 1900?
Yep.
Or was it built in 2000?
So tobacco barn versus pole barn, 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Is it metal sided or is it wood sided?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot of details, but yeah, I mean, it could and it couldn't.
Yeah, absolutely. How about that Roll Tide?
Well, man, it was a rough year for us this year. Yeah, it's actually been a rough couple years.
It's all right. Go Bucks. But so we're going to hop into the final segment we do with everybody, and this is called This or That. Okay. So I'm going to hit you with 5 or 10 this or that questions. Don't think, just give me your answer.
Gotcha.
All right, coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee.
Starbucks or Dunkin'?
Dunkin'.
Do you have a local coffee shop that you used to like?
I do, actually. Big B. I like Big B coffee a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Bethel, is that the closest one to you?
Eastgate's.
Eastgate.
Well, actually, so we have one in Batavia.
Oh, do you?
Right
Okay,
on the
I
Hospital Drive, but
gotcha.
yeah.
Hunting or fishing?
Ooh, fishing.
Gotcha. Back roads or highways?
Depends if I've got time or not. If I've got time, back roads for sure.
I like that answer. Early mornings or late nights?
Early mornings.
Texting or calls?
That's tough. Let's go with texting.
Gotcha. Everybody. I know Ian just got back there just chuckling up.
I used to not be that way.
I'm a phone call guy.
And that's how I used to be. Like, if you need something, reach out and call me. But now, especially with this job, text is very convenient.
Well, and I don't mind texting, but it's texts like it. If any of my clients are out there, any of my coworkers, any of my family members, when they get a text from me, they know it's coming from Siri. So my grammar is terrible.
I gotcha.
Home cooked meals or eating out?
Home cooked for sure.
Country music or throwback hip hop?
That's a tough one. I like both. If I have to pick one, I'm going with country.
Really? I didn't expect that. I figured some Tupac was in there.
Used to be.
Beach vacation or mountain getaway?
Mountain for me.
Really? Yeah. Hey, we're getting ready to get on a boat.
We are.
Yeah. I'm like super stoked about that.
Really excited myself.
Football or basketball?
Football for sure.
Auburn or Ole Miss?
Ugh. Definitely not Auburn. Auburn for nothing. So Ole Miss.
Netflix binge or sports game?
If I'm by myself, sports for sure.
Gotcha.
If I'm with the wife, it's going to end up being Netflix.
Gotcha. Well, Matt, that concludes This or That. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
can't wait to have you and Christy leading one of these very
Absolutely.
soon.
Looking forward to it.
I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.